Welcome back to Winning Isn't Easy. How a disability carrier's refusal to offer you a disability insurance policy can impact your ability to find a disability or life insurance policy. Now, the application process for disability insurance is detailed and demanding. You've seen the questions on the application, and you should not blow through these. The questions that you are going to be answering and how you answer them can shape the outcome of your application. In other words, are you going to get coverage? But it will impact your future eligibility for disability and life insurance policies. One of the most critical sections of the application involves your medical history. And you're going to be asked questions like, what's your family's medical history? Now, you may wonder why, because they're not applying for benefits. You are. Their actuaries are going to take into account your medical history in deciding whether to take the risk of likelihood that you might develop one of the medical problems your family has had, and how that would impact them. They want to know the names and contact information for your doctors. They want to know if there are any known medical conditions and their onset date. They want to know the medical tests that you've undergone and the results. They want to know the diagnoses, the current treatment you're receiving, the medications you're taking, a history of your symptoms, past work-related injuries, involvements in motor vehicle accidents. And by the way, there are indexes where they can check in regard to whether you've been in a motor vehicle accident. They're also going to want to know about your participation in high-risk sports or hobbies. Now, those are common questions, and you don't want to lie. You don't want to omit things either. So the reason is this: what's going to happen if you don't tell them the truth? Failing to disclose accurate information, whether intentionally or due to forgetfulness or omission, can have serious repercussions. If your answers are misleading or incomplete, the carrier may do one of several things. They may deny your application outright. They may rescind your policy after it's issued. They may deny your disability claim when you have to stop work and apply for your disability benefits, and you need it most. And they may refer you to fraud for fraud investigation. They will refer you to the Department of Insurance of your applicable state for consideration of a fraud investigation and potential prosecution. And as I said, I have been involved in this situation where my doctor client did not tell the truth about his pre-existing medical treatment. And it was for the very same condition in which he claimed he was disabled. And the carrier found out about it and got the records. They actually rescinded the policy, refunded the premium, and we were at the lawsuit stage. Ultimately, we gave up the claim because he had committed fraud. And as part of the settlement agreement we reached with the carrier, he got nothing. I didn't get paid. But they agreed not to refer the case to the Department of Insurance for fraud and potential criminal consequences. So this behavior can go beyond a simple, we're not going to pay you your benefits, to an investigation to criminal prosecution. So what's the impact of being declined for insurance? You might think that getting turned down by one carrier is no big deal, and you can apply elsewhere. But that's not how it works. Every major disability insurance application asks whether you've been declined before, and a past denial can be a red flag in the application. It can result in either a denial of the coverage or an extremely high premium. Now, if you lie and say you haven't been declined, your agent is required to disclose the truth to protect their relationship with the carrier, because they're not going to jeopardize their relationship with the carrier, but more importantly, they're not going to jeopardize their license. Lying to an insurance agent or a carrier doesn't help. If they discover this deception, they will rescind the policy and deny your claim. So please, being honest up front allows your agent to work strategically with you on your behalf to find the right coverage for you. But the impact goes beyond disability insurance. A decision by a disability carrier to decline to offer you coverage can affect your ability to obtain life insurance. Why? Insurers view the overall insurability of a person as a measure of risk. If you've been denied disability coverage, they may view you as a high-risk applicant for life insurance. So what must you do during the application process? My strong suggestion, before you even start this process, is to contact all the pharmacies you've used to get a full list of medication that have been prescribed to you. And I will tell you that disability carriers do pharmacy record checks, not only at the application process, but when you apply for your disability benefits because you're unable to work. You want to reach out to any doctors you've seen even years ago and get a copy of the medical rewards. Why? Because you want to cross-reference the doctors listed both on your prescription records and doctors listed in your medical reports that you may have forgotten about or that the doctor may have copied their report with. So you may have seen a specialist who copied the report to your primary. And you also want to ask your auto insurance agent to check your accident history. You want to run a background check on yourself to confirm public records. You want to speak with close family members who might remember past injuries or illness. Those are the kind of things I think you should be doing before you're applying for your disability insurance coverage. And you want to provide all that information to your agent so that they can represent you properly and consult directly with the underwriting departments of various carriers. I think skipping these steps can lead to costly mistakes and a possible denial of your claim if and when you have to file a claim for your benefits. I promise you, carriers routinely run their own background checks, including pulling your pharmacy records, your claims history, public records. They'll even look at your social media. But by doing this work up front, you can increase your chances of securing a solid policy with favorable terms. Honesty matters. Let's take a break.